Hello everyone, this is Karthik, your economics teacher. In previous class, we have discussed about the sectors of Indian economy, where we have seen about primary, secondary and tertiary sector, how they are interrelated, and then the concept of national income, per capita income. Today we are going to cover about the economic growth and development. We looked at the national income and we got to know that through national income, we get to know whether a country is developed or not. सो हमें नेशनल इनकम से ये डायरेक्टली पता चल जाता है कि कौन सी कंट्री डेवलप्ड है, कौन सी डेवलपिंग है, कौन सी पुअर कंट्री है. नाउ हम उस डेवलपमेंट को ही थोड़ा डीप में पढ़ेंगे इन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ एंड इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट. सो व्हाट इज इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ एंड इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट? नाउ बोथ ऑफ दीज कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर डिफरेंट बिकॉज the economic growth is a narrow concept, whereas economic development is a broader concept. So economic development takes various things into account, but economic growth only takes one thing into account, that is national income. So economic growth is a quantitative concept, is a narrower concept. It does not take into account the social, political and development. The development which takes the social, economic or social, political and cultural development, it does not take into account social, political and cultural development. It only takes into account the economic development. And that economic development is calculated with respect to increase in level of income or production in an economy during a particular accounting year. So in one year, whether the income is increasing or not, that will tell us economic growth. So economic growth means the increase in level of production or income in a particular year. That is economic growth. An important thing to remember, it is a quantitative concept, only it is concerned with numbers and it is a narrower concept. On the other hand, we have economic development. Now development, it is wider concept than economic growth. So what is development? Now development takes into account various different things. Now it is a qualitative concept. Why qualitative? It takes into account numbers as well as other development which are not measurable. So it is a broader concept. The economic development takes into account increase in national income, social, economic, political, cultural welfare of the country, because political, social, cultural welfare are not discussed in the economic growth. Economic growth does not take into account the social, political, cultural, but economic development takes into account. Economic development, so as I said, economic development is a broader concept. So economic development is economic growth plus social, culture, political and institutional changes or institutional development. When you add both of them, you will get economic development. So economic development is a broader concept, whereas economic growth is a narrower concept. So most often in economics, we are concerned with economic development. Now we will move to next topic. So this is over. So now we will look at various types of development. So one is sustainable development. So what is sustainable development? Now the sustainable development, it is also known as continuous development. It is also known as continuous or successive development. It is known as sustainable development, continuous development and successive development. So what is this sustainable development? Now sustainable development means development keeping in mind the need for future generation. So you do the development in such a way that the needs of the present generations are satisfied and the needs of future generations are not compromised. So sustainable development is development keeping in mind the needs of the present generation. So needs of the present generation are satisfied and of the future generation it is not compromised. So you do a development in such a way that the resources which you are using are available for your consumption in the present period as well as for the future period. For example, petroleum. Now we consume petroleum, we use petroleum in running automobile for electricity, etc. Now we use petrol for that. Now presently we are using it, but same product should also be available after 100 years. If that is available, we call it as sustainable development. Also, sustainable development is a climate friendly. Climate friendly means it does not affect the environment. So this is the concept of sustainable development. Please go through the book. There you will get about this in more detail. Then we have other development, which is assimilated development. Assimilated. This was sustainable development. We have assimilated development. So what is assimilated? Now this is a type of developmental approach. Assimilated development. Now this assimilated development says that the welfare of the policies should reach to all the sections of society. So welfare policies should reach to all the sections of the society and no one should be deprived of. So no one, even there are welfare policies for poor, so a poor people should also have access to the welfare policy. So no one should be deprived of the welfare policy. This is the concept of assimilated development. Now after assimilated development, we have human development. Now, interesting thing about assimilated development is that it is a universal concept because this development talks about welfare for all and no discrimination. So, while forming the welfare policy, discrimination should not be done and the development should reach to all, to everyone. The next is human development. So what is human development? Now human development is a type of development. Now this approach came in the year 1990. In 1990 this term came. Now human development aims to assess whether development is taking place through three ways. So human development takes into consideration three things. One is literacy rate. Second is life expectancy. Life expectancy यानी average lifespan of a life expectancy, and then third you have per capita income, जो हमने already discuss कर रखी है. Per capita income is total income divided by total population. You get average income. So human development takes into account literacy rate, life expectancy, and per capita income, and then it gives us a figure which tells us whether the country is developed or not. So human development takes into account three things: literacy rate, life expectancy, and per capita income. Now this is the development which is widely used. This approach is widely used while assessing whether a country is developed or not. So this is about human development. Now we will look at some more topics. The next topic will be the planning or the planning commission. So first we will look at the planning in India. So what is planning? Planning is when you plan like how you are going to allocate the resources. So we know that my objective is so and so. So how I am going to distribute my resources so that I can achieve my goal. So planning is all about distribution of the resources in an efficient manner to achieve your goal. So planning is distribution of resources efficiently to achieve the desired गोल्स। सो हमारा जो भी गोल होगा हम उसे कैसे अचीव करेंगे? प्रॉपर प्लानिंग के साथ। सो दैट इज नोन एज प्लानिंग। इन इंडिया अगर हम कंट्री लेवल पे देखते हैं, एट अ कंट्री लेवल वी लुक एट planning commission for the national level planning. So in the year 1950 government of India formed planning commission. This planning commission came up with 5-year plan. So this planning commission gave us 5-year plan, and this 5-year plan operated for 5 years, and then so all the resources were distributed through this 5-year plan. Now why planning is required? Because so how basically what happened when planning is done? So in what way we do it? So first step will be defining the aim and objective. The aim and objective tells us what is my aim at a country level, whether I want to develop agriculture sector or manufacturing sector. So that will be defined, like what you want to achieve. Second will be take the look at the stock of resources. How much resources are available in the country? So that will be estimating the resources available and the third will be, now you have your goal, आपके पास अपना ऑब्जेक्टिव है, एम है, आपके पास रिसोर्सेज भी अवेलेबल है. नाउ आप कैसे उस रिसोर्सेज को एफिशिएंटली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करोगे? सो द थर्ड विल बी एफिशिएंटली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग द रिसोर्सेज टू अचीव योर एम. Efficiently distributing the resources. So these are the three things when it is when a planning is concerned. These three things are taken into consideration. Like you set your goals, you determine what are the resources available, and then you allocate those resources. Now we will look at the planning in India. So in India, Planning Commission was formed in 1950. As I said, in 1950 Planning Commission came, and the Planning Commission gave 12 5-year plan. So 12 5-year plan were given by Planning Commission. The 12th 5-year plan existed till 2017. उसके बाद Planning Commission was disbanded. Planning Commission के बाद नीति आयोग के. We will discuss later. So Planning Commission lasted till 2017. After that Niti Aayog came and replaced Planning Commission. So 2017 के बाद Planning Commission नहीं रही. Now why? So what were the objectives? Like Planning Commission के what were the objectives? So in the first step we discussed that you set your objective and goal. So what are the objectives? Let us look at the objectives. So when you look at the objectives, one will be to reduce income inequality, then to reduce poverty यानी गरीबी, है ना, to promote inclusive development, then rural development यानी गांवों का विकास. So there can be number of things. So income inequality, reduce poverty, income inequality, promote inclusive development, to promote rural development, and to ensure educational and health services are accessible to everyone. So expansion of health and educational services, or expansion of social sector services. Social sector services are education, healthcare, etc. Equal to education, healthcare, etc. Apart from this, there are a number of other objectives, like then you have reducing regional inequality, regional inequalities, removal. It implies that in India there are regions like Bangalore is more developed as compared to Barmer. So what do you have to do? The planning commission will allocate resources in such a way that Barmer also develop. So that is about regional inequalities to remove. So removal of regional inequalities so that a balanced development or a balanced growth can be achieved. So removal of or eradication of regional inequality. There are number of goals of planning commission. In the books there are 10 to 11 developmental goals like objectives of the planning commission. Please go through that and jot it down in the notebook. Now after this we are going to cover about the Niti Aayog. Now as I said that Niti Aayog replaced the planning commission. So Niti Aayog. It is National Institute for Transforming India, National Institution for Transforming India. Now Niti Aayog, the chairperson is Prime Minister. So the chairman, yani head of the Niti Aayog is Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister is the head of the Niti Aayog. Now this came into force in 2015. Now Niti Aayog, so what it is? This Niti Aayog formulate policies for the government. Formulate policies for the government. Apart from this, it is a think tank of government. So it gives recommendation to the government on various issues. Third, it promotes the concept of cooperative federalism. So what is this cooperative federalism? Cooperative federalism means when states and union territories come together and so collective decision making takes place. So it is also known as collective decision making. Collective decision. So states, union territories, government come together, they make a decision on a particular topic. So it promotes cooperative federalism. Or Niti Aayog is a platform where states and union territories come together and they discuss on a particular issue. Now the last thing about Niti Aayog is that it consists of two important things. The Niti Aayog consists of two important things. One is Team India Hub. Now, the Team India Hub ensures that states and union territories come together on a single platform. So, UTs यानी union territory come together. The second is knowledge innovation, knowledge innovation hub. Now what this knowledge innovation hub does, so this strengthens the capabilities of Niti Aayog. Knowledge Innovation Hub, it strengthens the capabilities, so it ensures that effective decision making takes place. It works in line with the Niti Aayog. It actually assists Niti Aayog in various policies. So working towards strengthening the capabilities of Niti Aayog. Strengthening capabilities of Niti Aayog. So this is about Niti Aayog. Now important thing about Niti Aayog, chairman is Prime Minister, formed in 2015. So this is the Niti Aayog, which is National Institution for Transforming India. Now this is about the complete chapter. Now, so this is about the economic growth and development. So we are done with the chapter first. The first part of the video deals till the sectors of Indian economy, and the second part starts from the economic growth and economic development, which we have discussed. So this is about the Niti Aayog Planning Commission, which we have discussed. Thank you.